Guys, sorry, I know this has been a long video. This is like video number 3, but we're almost done. So stick in here for a couple more problems and then you will be ready for your quiz. So I'm going to give you another set of points. Let's say we have the points 5, 2, and 5, -4. Okay? And let's say I ask you to find the slope of the line that passes through these 2 points by using the slope formula. Okay, so the slope formula is just always set. It's the same thing every time. If we take the y from the second ordered pair minus the y from the first, that's going to give us our change in y. Okay, that gives us our top number of our fraction. That gives us our rise, how many we moved up or down. And then we find the x of the second ordered pair minus the x of our first, and that gives us our run. That tells us how many we're going to move to the right or to the left. Okay, so our rise is our up or our down. The run is our right or our left. Remember, if we move down, it's negative. If we move to the left, it's negative. Okay, so to find the slope of the line that passes through these 2 points, we are going to first label the points. This is the x of the first point, the y of the first point. This is the x of the second point, the y of the second point. So now we just plug in what we know into this formula that always stays the same. So the y of the second point right here is a -4 minus the y of our first point, right? Y of our first point, which is going to be 2, over the x of our second point, which is 5, minus the x of our first point, which is also 5. Okay, now when we simplify this, -4 minus 2 is -6. 5 minus 5 is 0. It's important to remember that anytime you have 0 underneath your fraction, that's called undefined. You can't divide a number by 0. And if you put that in your calculator, if you do -6 divided by 0, you're going to come up with an error. Okay, now I actually want to graph this line for you so that you can see what this looks like. Okay, if we were to plot both of these points on a coordinate plane, 5, 2 would be to the right, 5 and up 2, and 5, -4 is to the right, 5 and down 4. Okay, can you guys see that this gives us a vertical line, doesn't it? And remember, anytime you have a vertical line, the slope of any vertical line is always going to be undefined. Okay, let's go ahead and do one more. Let's say I give you 4, 6 and -2, 6. Let's say I give you these 2 points, and I ask you to find the slope of the line using the slope formula, which says the y from our second ordered pair minus the y from our first gives us the top number of our slope, top number of our fraction for our slope, the x of the second ordered pair minus the x of the first. So here is the x of our first, the y of our first, here is the x of our second, the y of our second. So to find the slope, we take the y of our second ordered pair, this is our second ordered pair, and this is the y coordinate, so that's going to be 6, minus the y of our first, which is 6, over the x of our second, so now we're on this one, the x of our second, which is -2, minus the x of our first, which is 4. So now when we simplify this, we end up getting a 0 over -6. 0 divided by anything is always 0. So the slope of this line is a 0. So let me show you this line. Okay, if we were to draw a coordinate plane here and plot the point 4, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So over to the right, 4, up 6. 4, 6 is right here. Okay, and then -2, 6 is right here. And then if we draw a line through those 2 points, we can see that our line is a horizontal line. And a horizontal line has 0 steepness. So when we talk about the slope of a line, If it's a horizontal line, the slope is always going to be 0. Okay, let's go ahead and do one more, and then I think you guys are going to be ready for your quiz. And if you're not, you can come practice a few more of these with me in the practice room. So -8, 2, and 3, 5. Okay, so remember to find slope by using the slope formula. Our first step is to label our points. So this is the x of our first point, the y of our first point. This is the x of our second point, the y of our second point. Our slope formula says that if we take the y of our second point minus the y of our first, that gives us our rise. That gives us the top number of our fraction. If we take the x of the second point minus the x in the first, that gives us our change in x, or our run, or the bottom number of our fraction. Okay, so here we go. Y of our second is 5 minus y of our first, which is 2, over x of our second, which is 3, minus x of our first, which is a -8. 5 minus 2 is 3. 3 minus a -8 is 11. So our slope is 3 over 11. Okay, so those are your practice problems. You need to turn those into me along with your quiz. Okay, so now go ahead and move yourself to breakout room number 3. You can do your quiz. And you know what? I'm even going to just show you your quiz right here so you don't have to move yourself. So the quiz looks like this. Right here. Okay, so here's your slope quiz. For the first one, you are finding the slope of the line that passes through these 2 points. You're doing that by the slope formula. Okay, and for the second one, you're finding the slope by counting the rise over the run. Okay, if you guys are having any questions, if you're not understanding this, if you need some more help, please, please, please join me in breakout room number 2. Remember, I will not see you next week. There is no live class. And so I'll see you, I guess, in a week and 3 days. So talk to you soon. Not soon, but talk to you later.